The Game of Logic ******* The Game of Logic by Lewis Carroll 9 10 x 11 12 ymy 13 14 x 15 16 Colors 4 Counters 5 6 ____ xc The sun is overhead, YY shining on us, full and red. x7 8 Now the sun is gone away, and the empty sky is grey. ____ The Game of Logic by Lewis Carroll To my child friend. I charm in vain, for never again, all keenly as my glance I bend, will memory, goddess coy, embody for my joy departed days, nor let me gaze on thee, my fairy friend. Yet could thy face, in mystic grace, a moment smile on me, 'twould send far darting rays of light from heaven athwart the night, by which to read in very deed thy spirit, sweetest friend. So may the stream of life's long dream flow gently onward to its end, with many a floweret gay, adown its willowy way, may no sigh vex, no care perplex, my loving little friend. Nota bene. With each copy of this book is given an envelope, containing a diagram, similar to the frontispiece, on card, and 9 counters, 4 red and 5 grey. The envelope and C can be had separately, at 3d each. The author will be very grateful for suggestions, especially from beginners in logic, of any alterations, or further explanations, that may seem desirable. Letters should be addressed to him at 29 Bedford Street, Covent Garden, London. Preface There foam de rebellious logic, gagged and bound. This game requires 9 counters, 4 of one color and 5 of another, say 4 red and 5 grey. Besides the 9 counters, it also requires 1 player, at least. I am not aware of any game that can be played with less than this number, while there are several that require more. Take cricket, for instance, which requires 22. How much easier it is, when you want to play a game, to find 1 player than 22. At the same time, though 1 player is enough, a good deal more amusement may be got by 2 working at it together, and correcting each other's mistakes. A second advantage, possessed by this game, is that, besides being an endless source of amusement, the number of arguments that may be worked by it, being infinite, it will give the players a little instruction as well. But is there any great harm in that, so long as you get plenty of amusement? Contents. Chapter page I New lamps for old. 1 Propositions. 1-2. Syllogisms. 23. Fallacies. 32-2. Cross questions. 1 Elementary. 37-2. Half of smaller diagram. Propositions to be represented. 43. Do. Symbols to be interpreted. 42-4. Smaller diagram. Propositions to be represented. 44-5. Do. Symbols to be interpreted. 46-6. Larger diagram. Propositions to be represented. 48-7. Both diagrams to be employed. 51-3. Crooked answers. 1 elementary. 55 2. Half of smaller diagram. Propositions represented. 59 3. Do. Symbols interpreted. 61 4. Smaller diagram. Propositions represented. 62 5. Do. Symbols interpreted. 65 6. Larger diagram. Propositions represented. 67 7. Both diagrams employed. 72 4. Hit or miss. 85 Chapter I New lamps for old. Light come, light go. Underscore 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 1. Propositions. Some new cakes are nice. No new cakes are nice. All new cakes are nice. There are 3 propositions for you, the only 3 kinds we are going to use in this game, and the first thing to be done is to learn how to express them on the board. Let us begin with some new cakes are nice. But before doing so, a remark has to be made, one that is rather important, and by no means easy to understand all in a moment. So please to read this very carefully. The world contains many things, such as buns, babies, beetles, battledores, and sea, and these things possess many attributes, such as baked, beautiful, black, broken, and sea. In fact, whatever can be attributed to, that is said to belong to, anything, is an attribute. Whenever we wish to mention a thing, we use a substantive. When we wish to mention an attribute, we use an adjective. People have asked the question, can a thing exist without any attributes belonging to it? It is a very puzzling question, and I'm not going to try to answer it. Let us turn up our noses, and treat it with contemptuous silence, as if it really wasn't worth noticing. But, if they put it the other way, and ask, can an attribute exist without anything for it to belong to, we may say at once no, no more than a baby could go a railway journey with no one to take care of it. You never saw beautiful floating about in the air, or littered about on the floor, without anything to be beautiful, now did you? And now what am I driving at, in all this long rigmarole? It is this. You may put is or are between names of 2 things, for example, some pigs are fat animals, or between the names of 2 attributes. For example, pink is light red, and in each case it will make good sense. But, if you put is or are between the name of a thing and the name of an attribute, for example, some pigs are pink, you do not make good sense, for how can a thing be an attribute, unless you have an understanding with the person to whom you are speaking? And the simplest understanding would, I think, be this, that the substantive shall be supposed to be repeated at the end of the sentence, so that the sentence, if written out in full, would be some pigs are pink, pigs. And now the word are makes quite good sense. Thus, in order to make good sense of the proposition some new cakes are nice, we must suppose it to be written out in full, in the form some new cakes are nice, cakes. Now this contains 2 terms, new cakes being one of them, and nice cakes, the other. New cakes being the one we are talking about, is called the subject of the proposition, and nice cakes, the predicate. Also this proposition is said to be a particular one, since it does not speak of the whole of its subject, but only of a part of it. The other two kinds are said to be universal, because they speak of the whole of their subjects, the one denying niceness, and the other asserting it, of the whole class of new cakes. Lastly, if you would like to have a definition of the word proposition itself, you may take this a sentence stating that some, or none, or all, of the things belonging to a certain class, called its subject, are also things belonging to a certain other class, called its predicate. You will find these 7 words: proposition, attribute, term, subject, predicate, particular, universal charmingly useful, if any friend should happen to ask if you have ever studied logic. Mind you bring all 7 words into your answer, and your friend will go away deeply impressed, a sadder and a wiser man. Now please to look at the smaller diagram on the board, and suppose it to be a cupboard, intended for all the cakes in the world. It would have to be a good large one, of course. And let us suppose all the new ones to be put into the upper half, marked X, and all the rest, that is, the not new ones, into the lower half, marked X. Thus the lower half would contain elderly cakes, aged cakes, antediluvian cakes if there are any. I haven't seen many, myself, and so on. Let us also suppose all the nice cakes to be put into the left-hand half, marked Y, and all the rest, that is, the not nice ones, into the right-hand half, marked Y. At present, then, we must understand X to mean new, X not new, Y nice, and Y not nice. And now what kind of cakes would you expect to find in compartment number 5? It is part of the upper half, you see, so that, if it has any cakes in it, they must be new, and it is part of the left-hand half, so that they must be nice. Hence if there are any cakes in this compartment, they must have the double attribute new and nice, or, if we use letters, there must be X, Y. Observe that the letters X, Y are written on 2 of the edges of this compartment. This you will find a very convenient rule for knowing what attributes belong to the things in any compartment. Take number 7, for instance. If there are any cakes there, they must be X, Y, that is, they must be not new and nice. Now let us make another agreement that a red counter in a compartment shall mean that it is occupied, that is, that there are some cakes in it. The word some in logic means one or more, so that a single cake in a compartment would be quite enough reason for saying there are some cakes here. Also let us agree that a grey counter in a compartment shall mean that it is empty, that is, that there are no cakes in it. In the following diagrams, I shall put 1, meaning one or more, where you are to put a red counter, and 0, meaning none, where you are to put a grey one. As the subject of our proposition is to be new cakes, we are only concerned, at present, with the upper half of the cupboard, where all the cakes have the attribute X, that is, new. Now, fixing our attention on this upper half, suppose we found it marked like this, 1 that is, with a red counter in number 5. What would this tell us, with regard to the class of new cakes? Would it not tell us that there are some of them in the XY compartment? That is, that some of them, besides having the attribute X, which belongs to both compartments, have the attribute Y, that is, nice. This we might express by saying some X cakes are Y cakes, or, putting words instead of letters, some new cakes are nice cakes, or, in a shorter form, some new cakes are nice. At last we have found out how to represent the first proposition of this section. If you have not clearly understood all I have said, go no further, but read it over and over again, till you do understand it. After that is once mastered, you will find all the rest quite easy. It will save a little trouble, in doing the other propositions, if we agree to leave out the word cakes altogether. I find it convenient to call the whole class of things, for which the cupboard is intended, the universe. Thus we might have begun this business by saying let us take a universe of cakes. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Of course any other things would have done just as well as cakes. We might make propositions about a universe of lizards, or even a universe of hornets. Wouldn't that be a charming universe to live in? So far, then, we have learned that 1 means some X and Y, i.e. some new are nice. I think you will see without further explanation, that 1 means some X are Y, i.e. some new are not nice. Now let us put a grey counter into number 5, and ask ourselves the meaning of 0. This tells us that the XY compartment is empty, which we may express by no X are Y, or no new cakes are nice. This is the second of the 3 propositions at the head of this section. In the same way, 0 would mean no X are Y or no new cakes are not nice. What would you make of this, I wonder? 1. I hope you will not have much trouble in making out that this represents a double proposition, namely, some X are Y, and some are Y, i.e. some new are nice, and some are not nice. The following is a little harder, perhaps. 0. This means no X are Y, and none are Y, i.e. no new are nice, and none are not nice, which leads to the rather curious result that no new exist, i.e. no cakes are new. This is because nice and not nice make what we call an exhaustive division of the class new cakes, i.e. between them, they exhaust the whole class, so that all the new cakes that exist must be found in one or the other of them. And now suppose you had to represent, with counters the contradictory to no cakes are new, which would be some cakes are new, or, putting letters for words, some cakes are X, how would you do it? This will puzzle you a little, I expect. Evidently you must put a red counter somewhere in the X half of the cupboard, since you know there are some new cakes. But you must not put it into the left-hand compartment, since you do not know them to be nice, nor may you put it into the right-hand one, since you do not know them to be not nice. What, then, are you to do? I think the best way out of the difficulty is to place the red counter on the division line between the XY compartment and the XY compartment. This I shall represent, as I always put one where you are to put a red counter, by the diagram. 1 Our ingenious American cousins have invented a phrase to express the position of a man who wants to join one or the other of two parties, such as their two parties, Democrats and Republicans, but can't make up his mind which. Such a man is said to be sitting on the fence. Now that is exactly the position of the red counter you have just placed on the division line. He likes the look of number 5, and he likes the look of number 6, and he doesn't know which to jump down into. So there he sits astride, silly fellow, dangling his legs, one on each side of the fence. Now I am going to give you a much harder one to make out. What does this mean? 1-0 This is clearly a double proposition. It tells us not only that some x are y but also that no x are not y. Hence the result is all x are y, i.e. all new cakes are nice, which is the last of the three propositions at the head of this section. We see, then, that the universal proposition all new cakes are nice consists of two propositions taken together, namely, some new cakes are nice and no new cakes are not nice. In the same way 0-1 would mean all x are y, that is, all new cakes are not nice. Now what would you make of such a proposition as the cake you have given me is nice? Is it particular or universal? Particular, of course, you readily reply. One single cake is hardly worth calling some even. No, my dear impulsive reader, it is universal. Remember that, few as they are, and I grant you they couldn't well be fewer, they are, or rather it is, all that you have given me. Thus, if, leaving red out of the question, I divide my universe of cakes into two classes, the cakes you have given me, to which I assign the upper half of the cupboard, and those you haven't given me, which are to go below, I find the lower half fairly full, and the upper one as nearly as possible empty. And then, when I am told to put an upright division into each half, keeping the nice cakes to the left, and the not nice ones to the right, I begin by carefully collecting all the cakes you have given me, saying to myself, from time to time, generous creature, how shall I ever repay such kindness, and piling them up in the left-hand compartment. And it doesn't take long to do it. Here is another universal proposition for you. Barzillai Beckerleg is an honest man. That means all the Barzillai Beckerlegs that I am now considering are honest men. You think I invented that name, now don't you? But I didn't. It's on a carrier's cart, somewhere down in Cornwall. This kind of universal proposition, where the subject is a single thing, is called an individual proposition. Now let us take nice cakes as the subject of proposition, that is, let us fix our thoughts on the left-hand half of the cupboard, where all the cakes have attribute y, that is, nice. Suppose we find it marked like this -1, what would that tell us? I hope that it is not necessary, after explaining the horizontal oblong so fully, to spend much time over the upright one. I hope you will see, for yourself, that this means some y are x, that is, some nice cakes are new. But you will say, we have had this case before. You put a red counter into number 5, and you told us it meant some new cakes are nice, and now you tell us that it means some nice cakes are new. Can it mean both? The question is a very thoughtful one, and does you great credit, dear reader. It does mean both. If you choose to take X, that is, new cakes, as your subject, and to regard number 5 as part of a horizontal oblong, you may read it some X are Y, that is, some new cakes are nice, but, if you choose to take Y, that is, nice cake, as your subject, and to regard number 5 as part of an upright oblong, then you may read it some YRX, that is, some nice cakes are new. They are merely two different ways of expressing the very same truth. Without more words, I will simply set down the other ways in which this upright oblong might be marked, adding the meaning in each case. By comparing them with the various cases of the horizontal oblong, you will, I hope, be able to understand them clearly. You will find it a good plan to examine yourself on this table, by covering up first one column and then the other, and dodging about, as the children say. Also you will do well to write out for yourself two other tables, one for the lower half of the cupboard, and the other for its right-hand half. And now I think we have said all we need to say about the smaller diagram, and may go on to the larger one. Underscore 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 symbols. Meanings. Underscore 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 some YRX, i.e. some nice are not new. 1 no YRX, 0 i.e. no nice are new. Observe that this is merely another way of expressing no new are nice. No YRX, i.e. no nice are not new. 0 1 some YRX, and some RX, i.e. some nice are new, and some are not new. 1 0 no YRX, and none RX, i.e. no Y exist, i.e. no cakes are nice. 0 1 all YRX, i.e. all nice are new. 0 0 all YRX, i.e. all nice are not new. 1 underscore 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 underscore. This may be taken to be a cupboard divided in the same way as the last, but also divided into two portions, for the attribute m. Let us give to M the meaning wholesome, and let us suppose that all wholesome cakes are placed inside the central square, and all the unwholesome ones outside it, that is, in one or other of the four queer-shaped outer compartments. We see that, just as, in the smaller diagram, the cakes in each compartment had two attributes, so, here, the cakes in each compartment have three attributes, and, just as the letters, representing the two attributes, were written on the edges of the compartment, so, here, they are written at the corners. Observe that M is supposed to be written at each of the four outer corners, so that we can tell in a moment, by looking at a compartment, what three attributes belong to the things in it. For instance, take number 12. Here we find X, Y, M, at the corners, so we know that the cakes in it, if there are any, have the triple attribute, X, Y, M, that is, new, not nice, and wholesome. Again, take number 16. Here we find, at the corners, X, Y, M, so the cakes in it are not new, not nice, and unwholesome. Remarkably untempting cakes. It would take far too long to go through all the propositions, containing X and Y, X and M, and Y and M which can be represented on this diagram. There are 96 altogether, so I am sure you will excuse me, and I must content myself with doing 2 or 3, as specimens. You will do well to work out a lot more for yourself. Taking the upper half by itself, so that our subject is new cakes, how are we to represent no new cakes are wholesome? This is, writing letters for words, no XRM. Now this tells us that none of the cakes, belonging to the upper half of the cupboard, are to be found inside the central square, that is, the two compartments, number 11 and number 12, are empty. And this, of course, is represented by underscore 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 00. And now how are we to represent the contradictory proposition some XRM? This is a difficulty I have already considered. I think the best way is to place a red counter on the division line between number 11 and number 12, and to understand this to mean that one of the two compartments is occupied but that we do not at present know which. This I shall represent thus dash underscore 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 dash 1. Now let us express all XRM. This consists, we know, of two propositions, some XRM and no XRM. Let us express the negative part first. This tells us that none of the cakes, belonging to the upper half of the cupboard, are to be found outside the central square, that is, the two compartments, number 9 and number 10, are empty. This, of course, is represented by 00 underscore 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 underscore, but we have yet to represent some XRM. This tells us that there are some cakes in the oblong consisting of number 11 and number 12, so we place our red counter, as in the previous example, on the division line between number 11 and number 12, and the result is 0 0 underscore 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 dash 1. Now let us try one or two interpretations. What are we to make of this, with regard to x and y? 0 underscore 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 1 0. This tells us, with regard to the xy square, that it is wholly empty, since both compartments are so marked. With regard to the xy square, it tells us that it is occupied. True. It is only one compartment of it that is so marked, but that is quite enough, whether the other be occupied or empty, to settle the fact that there is something in the square. If, then, we transfer our marks to the smaller diagram, so as to get rid of the m subdivisions, we have a right to mark it 1 0, which means, all x are y. The result would have been exactly the same, if the given oblong had been marked thus dash 1 0 underscore 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 0. Once more, how shall we interpret this, with regard to x and y? 0 1 underscore 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 underscore. This tells us, as to the xy square, that one of its compartments is empty. But this information is quite useless, as there is no mark in the other compartment. If the other compartment happened to be empty too, the square would be empty, and, if it happened to be occupied, the square would be occupied. So, as we do not know which is the case, we can say nothing about this square. The other square, the xy square, we know, as in the previous example, to be occupied. If, then, we transfer our marks to the smaller diagram, we get merely this dash 1, which means, some x are y. These principles may be applied to all the other oblongs. For instance, to represent all y are m, we should mark the right-hand upright oblong, the one that has the attribute y, thus dash 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 0 dash 1 0 dash, and, if we were told to interpret the lower half of the cupboard, marked as follows, with regard to x and y, 0 dash dash 1 0, we should transfer it to the smaller diagram thus, 1 0. And read it all x are y. Two more remarks about propositions need to be made. One is that, in every proposition beginning with some or all, the actual existence of the subject is asserted. If, for instance, I say all misers are selfish, I mean that misers actually exist. If I wished to avoid making this assertion, and merely to state the law that miserliness necessarily involves selfishness, I should say no misers are unselfish, which does not assert that any misers exist at all, but merely that, if any did exist, they would be selfish. The other is that, when a proposition begins with some or no, and contains more than two attributes, these attributes may be rearranged, and shifted from one term to the other, ad libitum. For example, some A, B, C are definite may be rearranged as some B, F, R, A, D, each being equivalent to some things are abjective. Again, no wise old men are rash and reckless gamblers may be rearranged as no rash old gamblers are wise and reckless, each being equivalent to no men are wise old rash reckless gamblers. Two syllogisms. Now suppose we divide our universe of things in three ways, with regard to three different attributes. Out of these three attributes, we may make up three different couples. For instance, if they were A, B, C, we might make up the three couples AB, AC, BC. Also suppose we have two propositions given us, containing two of these three couples, and that from them we can prove a third proposition containing the third couple. For example, if we divide our universe for M, X, and Y, and if we have the two propositions given us, no M are X and all M are Y, containing the two couples mx and my, it might be possible to prove from them a third proposition, containing x and y. In such a case we call the given propositions the premises, the third one the conclusion, and the whole set a syllogism. Evidently, one of the attributes must occur in both premises, or else one must occur in one premise, and it's contradictory in the other. In the first case, when, for example, the premises are some m are x and no m are y, the term, which occurs twice, is called the middle term, because it serves as a sort of link between the other two terms. In the second case, when, for example, the premises are no m are x and all m are y, the two terms, which contain these contradictory attributes, may be called the middle terms. Thus, in the first case, the class of m things is the middle term, and, in the second case, the two classes of m things and m things are the middle terms. The attribute, which occurs in the middle term or terms, disappears in the conclusion, and is said to be eliminated, which literally means turned out of doors. Now let us try to draw a conclusion from the two premises: some new cakes are unwholesome, no nice cakes are unwholesome. In order to express them with counters, we need to divide cakes in three different ways, with regard to newness, to niceness, and to wholesomeness. For this we must use the larger diagram, making x mean new, y nice, and m wholesome. Everything inside the central square is supposed to have the attribute m, and everything outside it the attribute m, i.e. not m dot. You had better adopt the rule to make m mean the attribute which occurs in the middle term or terms. I have chosen m as the symbol, because middle begins with m. Now, in representing the two premises, I prefer to begin with the negative one, the one beginning with no, because gray counters can always be placed with certainty, and will then help to fix the position of the red counters, which are sometimes a little uncertain where they will be most welcome. Let us express the no nice cakes are unwholesome cakes, i.e. no y cakes are m cakes. This tells us that none of the cakes belonging to the y half of the cupboard are in its m compartments, i.e. the ones outside the central square. Hence the two compartments, number 9 and number 15, are both empty, and we must place a gray counter in each of them. Thus -0 we have now to express the other premise, namely, some new cakes are unwholesome cakes, i.e. some x cakes are m cakes. This tells us that some of the cakes in the x half of the cupboard are in its m compartments. Hence one of the two compartments, number 9 and number 10, is occupied, and, as we are not told in which of these two compartments to place the red counter, the usual rule would be to lay it on the division line between them, but, in this case, the other premise has settled the matter for us, by declaring number 9 to be empty. Hence the red counter has no choice, and must go into number 10, thus -0 and now what counters will this information enable us to place in the smaller diagram, so as to get some proposition involving x and y only, leaving out m. Let us take its four compartments, one by one. First, number 5. All we know about this is that its outer portion is empty, but we know nothing about its inner portion. Thus the square may be empty, or it may have something in it. Who can tell? So we dare not place any counter in this square. Secondly, what of number 6? Here we are a little better off. We know that there is something in it, for there is a red counter in its outer portion. It is true we do not know whether its inner portion is empty or occupied, but what does that matter? One solitary cake, in one corner of the square, is quite sufficient excuse for saying this square is occupied, and for marking it with a red counter. As to number 7, we are in the same condition as with number 5. We find it partly empty, but we do not know whether the other part is empty or occupied, so we dare not mark this square. And as to number 8, we have simply no information at all. The result is 1 our conclusion, then, must be got out of the rather meager piece of information that there is a red counter in the xy square. Hence our conclusion is some x are y, i.e. some new cakes are not nice cakes, or, if you prefer to take y as your subject, some not nice cakes are new cakes, but the other looks neatest. We will now write out the whole syllogism, putting the symbol and therefore, asterisk, for therefore, and omitting cakes, for the sake of brevity, at the end of each proposition. Asterisk, note from Brett, the use of and therefore is a rather arbitrary selection. There is no font available in general practice which renders the therefore symbol correction, 3 dots in a triangular formation. This can be done, however, in HTML, so if this document is read in a browser, then the symbol will be properly recognized. This is a poor man's excuse. Some new cakes are unwholesome, no nice cakes are unwholesome, and therefore some new cakes are not nice. And you have now worked out, successfully, your first syllogism. Permit me to congratulate you, and to express the hope that it is but the beginning of a long and glorious series of similar victories. We will work out one other syllogism, a rather harder one than the last, and then, I think, you may be safely left to play the game by yourself, or, better, with any friend whom you can find, that is able and willing to take a share in the sport. Let us see what we can make of the two premises: all dragons are uncanny, all Scotchmen are canny. Remember, I don't guarantee the premises to be facts. In the first place, I never even saw a dragon, and, in the second place, it isn't of the slightest consequence to us, as logicians, whether our premises are true or false. All we have to do is to make out whether they lead logically to the conclusion, so that, if they were true, it would be true also. You see, we must give up the cakes now, or our cupboard will be of no use to us. We must take, as our universe, some class of things which will include dragons and Scotchmen, shall we say animals. And, as canny is evidently the attribute belonging to the middle terms, we will let M stand for canny, X for dragons, and Y for Scotchmen. So that our two premises are, in full, all dragon animals are uncanny animals, all Scotchman animals are canny animals. And these may be expressed, using letters for words, thus all X are M, all Y are M. The first premise consists, as you already know, of two parts some X are M and no X are M. And the second also consists of two parts some Y are M and no Y are M. Let us take the negative portions first. We have, then, to mark, on the larger diagram, first, no X are M, and secondly, no Y are M. I think you will see, without further explanation, that the two results, separately, are 0, 0, 0, 0 and that these two, when combined, give us 0, 0, 0, 0. We have now to mark the two positive portions, some X are M and some Y are M. The only two compartments, available for things which are XM, are number 9 and number 10. Of these, number 9 is already marked as empty, so our red counter must go into number 10. Similarly, the only two, available for YM, are number 11 and number 13. Of these, number 11 is already marked as empty, so our red counter must go into number 13. The final result is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. And now how much of this information can usefully be transferred to the smaller diagram? Let us take its four compartments, one by one. As to number 5. This, we see, is wholly empty. So mark it with a grey counter. As to number 6. This, we see, is occupied. So mark it with a red counter. As to number 7. Ditto, ditto. As to number 8. No information. The smaller diagram is now pretty liberally marked 0, 1, 1 and now what conclusion can we read off from this? Well, it is impossible to pack such abundant information into one proposition. We shall have to indulge in two, this time. First, by taking X as subject, we get all X are Y, that is, all dragons are not Scotchmen. Secondly, by taking Y as subject, we get all Y are X, that is, all Scotchmen are not dragons. Let us now write out, all together, our two premises and our brace of conclusions. All dragons are uncanny, all Scotchmen are canny. And therefore all dragons are not Scotchmen, all Scotchmen are not dragons. Let me mention, in conclusion, that you may perhaps meet with logical treatises in which it is not assumed that anything exists at all. By some X or Y is understood to mean the attributes X, Y are compatible, so that a thing can have both at once, and no X or Y to mean the attributes X, Y are incompatible, so that nothing can have both at once. In such treatises, propositions have quite different meanings from what they have in our game of logic, and it will be well to understand exactly what the difference is. First, take some x or y. Here we understand R to mean R, as an actual fact, which of course implies that some x things exist. But they, the writers of these other treatises, only understand R to mean can be, which does not at all imply that any exist. So they mean less than we do. Our meaning includes theirs, for of course some x or y includes some x can be y, but theirs does not include ours. For example, some Welsh hippopotami are heavy would be true, according to these writers, since the attributes Welsh and heavy are quite compatible in a hippopotamus, but it would be false in our game, since there are no Welsh hippopotami to be heavy. Secondly, take no x or y. Here we only understand R to mean R, as an actual fact, which does not at all imply that no x can be y. But they understand the proposition to mean, not only that none are y, but that none can possibly be y. So they mean more than we do. Their meaning includes ours, for of course no x can be y includes no x or y, but ours does not include theirs. For example, no policemen are 8 feet high would be true in our game, since, as an actual fact, no such splendid specimens are ever found, but it would be false, according to these writers, since the attributes belonging to the police force and 8 feet high are quite compatible. There is nothing to prevent a policeman from growing to that height, if sufficiently rubbed with Rowland's Macassar oil, which said to make hair grow, when rubbed on hair, and so of course will make a policeman grow, when rubbed on a policeman. Thirdly, take all x or y, which consists of the two partial propositions some x or y and no x or y. Here, of course, the treatises mean less than we do in the first part, and more than we do in the second. But the two operations don't balance each other any more than you can console a man for having knocked down one of his chimneys, by giving him an extra doorstep. If you meet with syllogisms of this kind, you may work them, quite easily, by the system I have given you. You have only to make R mean R capable of being, and all will go smoothly. For some x or y will become some x are capable of being y, that is, the attributes x, y are compatible. And no x or y will become no x are capable of being y, that is, the attributes x, y are incompatible. And, of course, all x or y will become some x are capable of being y, and none are capable of being y, that is, the attributes x, y are compatible, and the attributes x, y are incompatible. In using the diagrams for this system, you must understand a red counter to mean there may possibly be something in this compartment, and a grey one to mean there cannot possibly be anything in this compartment. 3 fallacies. And so you think, do you, that the chief use of logic, in real life, is to deduce conclusions from workable premises, and to satisfy yourself that the conclusions, deduced by other people, are correct? I only wish it were. Society would be much less liable to panics and other delusions, and political life, especially, would be a totally different thing, if even a majority of the arguments, that scattered broadcast over the world, were correct. But it is all the other way, I fear. For one workable pair of premises, I mean a pair that lead to a logical conclusion, that you meet with in reading your newspaper or magazine, you will probably find 5 that lead to no conclusion at all, and, even when the premises are workable, for one instance, where the writer draws a correct conclusion, there are probably 10 where he draws an incorrect one. In the first case, you may say the premises are fallacious, in the second, the conclusion is fallacious. The chief use you will find, in such logical skill as this game may teach you, will be in detecting fallacies of these 2 kinds. The first kind of fallacious premises you will detect when, after marking them on the larger diagram, you try to transfer the marks to the smaller. You will take its 4 compartments, one by one, and ask, for each in turn, what mark can I place here, and in every one the answer will be no information, showing that there is no conclusion at all. For instance, all soldiers are brave, some Englishmen are brave. And therefore some Englishmen are soldiers looks uncommonly like a syllogism, and might easily take in a less experienced logician. But you are not to be caught by such a trick. You would simply set out the premises, and would then calmly remark fallacious premises. You wouldn't condescend to ask what conclusion the writer professed to draw, knowing that, whatever it is, it must be wrong. You would be just as safe as that wise mother was, who said, Mary, just go up to the nursery, and see what baby's doing, and tell him not to do it. The other kind of fallacious conclusion you will not detect till you have marked both diagrams, and have read off the correct conclusion, and have compared it with the conclusion which the writer has drawn. But mind, you mustn't say fallacious conclusion simply because it is not identical with the correct one. It may be a part of the correct conclusion, and so be quite correct, as far as it goes. In this case you would merely remark, with a pitying smile, defective conclusion. Suppose, of example, you were to meet with this syllogism: all unselfish people are generous, no misers are generous. And therefore no misers are unselfish, the premises of which might be thus expressed in letters: all XRM, no YRM. Here the correct conclusion would be all XRY, that is, all unselfish people are not misers, while the conclusion, drawn by the writer, is no YRX, which is the same as no XRY and so is part of all XRY. Here you would simply say defective conclusion. The same thing would happen, if you were in a confectioner's shop, and if a little boy were to come in, put down 2pence, and march off triumphantly with a single penny bun. You would shake your head mournfully, and would remark defective conclusion. Poor little chap. And perhaps you would ask the young lady behind the counter whether she would let you eat the bun, which the little boy had paid for and left behind him, and perhaps she would reply sure NT. But if, in the above example, the writer had drawn the conclusion all misers are selfish, that is, all YRX, this would be going beyond his legitimate rights, since it would assert the existence of Y, which is not contained in the premises, and you would very properly say fallacious conclusion. Now, when you read other treatises on logic, you will meet with various kinds of, so-called, fallacies which are by no means always so. For example, if you were to put before one of these logicians the pair of premises no honest men cheat, no dishonest men are trustworthy, and were to ask him what conclusion followed, he would probably say none at all. Your premises offend against two distinct rules, and are as fallacious as they can well be. Then suppose you were bold enough to say the conclusion is no men who cheat are trustworthy. I fear your logical friend would turn away hastily, perhaps angry, perhaps only scornful. In any case, the result would be unpleasant. I advise you not to try the experiment. But why is this, you will say? Do you mean to tell us that all these logicians are wrong? Far from it, dear reader. From their point of view, they are perfectly right. But they do not include, in their system, anything like all the possible forms of syllogisms. They have a sort of nervous dread of attributes beginning with a negative particle. For example, such propositions as all not X are Y, no X are not Y are quite outside their system. And thus, having, from sheer nervousness, excluded a quantity of very useful forms, they have made rules which, though quite applicable to the few forms which they allow of, are no use at all when you consider all possible forms. Let us not quarrel with them, dear reader. There is room enough in the world for both of us. Let us quietly take our broader system, and, if they choose to shut their eyes to all these useful forms, and to say they are not syllogisms at all, we can but stand aside, and let them rush upon their fate. There is scarcely anything of yours, upon which it is so dangerous to rush, as your fate. You may rush upon your potato beds, or your strawberry beds, without doing much harm. You may even rush upon your balcony, unless it is a new house, built by contract, and with no clerk of the works, and may survive the foolhardy enterprise. But if you once rush upon your fate, why, you must take the consequences. Chapter 2. Cross Questions. The man in the wilderness asked of me how many strawberries grow in the sea. Underscore 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 1. Elementary. 1. What is an attribute? Give examples. 2. When is it good sense to put is or are between two names? Give examples. 3. When is it not good sense? Give examples. 4. When it is not good sense, what is the simplest agreement to make, in order to make good sense? 5. Explain proposition, term, subject, and predicate. Give examples. 6. What are particular and universal propositions? Give examples. 7. Give a rule for knowing, when we look at the smaller diagram, what attributes belong to the things in each compartment. 8. What does sum mean in logic? CPP 55, 6, 9. In what sense do we use the word universe in this game? 10. What is a double proposition? Give examples. 11. When is a class of things said to be exhaustively divided? Give examples. 12. Explain the phrase sitting on the fence. 13. What two partial propositions make up, when taken together, all x are y? 14. What are individual propositions? Give examples. 15. What kinds of propositions imply, in this game, the existence of their subjects? 16. When a proposition contains more than two attributes, these attributes may in some cases be rearranged, and shifted from one term to the other. In what cases may this be done? Give examples. Underscore 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 break up each of the following into two partial propositions. 17. All tigers are fierce. 18. All hard-boiled eggs are unwholesome. 19. I am happy. 20. John is not at home. Underscore 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 CPP 56, 7, 21. Give a rule for knowing, when we look at the larger diagram, what attributes belong to the things contained in each compartment. 22. Explain premises, conclusion, and syllogism. Give examples. 23. Explain the phrases middle term and middle terms. 24. In marking a pair of premises on the larger diagram, why is it best to mark negative propositions before affirmative ones? 25. Why is it of no consequence to us, as logicians, whether the premises are true or false? 26. How can we work syllogisms in which we are told that some x or y is to be understood to mean the attribute x, y are compatible, and no x or y to mean the attributes x, y are incompatible? 27. What are the two kinds of fallacies? 28. How may we detect fallacious premises? 29. How may we detect a fallacious conclusion? 30. Sometimes the conclusion, offered to us, is not identical with the correct conclusion, and yet cannot be fairly called fallacious. When does this happen? And what name may we give to such a conclusion? CPP 57 to 59, 2. Half of smaller diagram. Propositions to be represented. XYY underscore 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 1. Some x are not y2. All x are not y3. Some x are y, and some are not y4. No x exist. 5. Some x exist. 6. No x are not y7. Some x are not y, and some x exist. Underscore 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 taking x equals judges, y equals just, 8. No judges are just. 9. Some judges are unjust. 10. All judges are just. Underscore 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 taking x equals plums, y equals wholesome, 11. Some plums are wholesome. 12. There are no wholesome plums. 13. Plums are some of them wholesome, and some not. 14. All plums are unwholesome. CPP 59, 60. xyx underscore 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 taking y equals diligent students, x equals successful, 15. No diligent students are unsuccessful. 16. All diligent students are successful. 17. No students are diligent. 18. There are some diligent, but unsuccessful, students. 19. Some students are diligent. CPP 60, 1, 3. Half of smaller diagram. Symbols to be interpreted. Underscore 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 xyy underscore 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 1 0 2 0 0 3 4 01 underscore 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 taking x equals good riddles, y equals hard, 5 16 107 008 0 underscore 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 CPP 61, 2, taking x equals lobster, y equals selfish, 9 110 011 0112 1 underscore 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 xyx dash, taking y equals healthy people, x equals happy, dash 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 01013 dash 14 115 dash 16 dash 11 dash 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 CP 62, 4. Smaller diagram. Propositions to be represented. XYYX underscore 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 1. All y are x2. Some y are not x3. No, not x are not y4. Some x are not y5. Some not y are x6. No, not x are y7. Some not x are not y8. All not x are not y9. Some not y exist. 10 no, not x exist. 11 some y are x, and some are not x12. All x are y, and all not y are not x. CPP 62, 3, taking nations as universe, x equals civilized, y equals warlike, 13. No uncivilized nation is warlike. 14 all unwarlike nations are uncivilized. 15 some nations are unwarlike. 16 all warlike nations are civilized, and all civilized nations are warlike. 17 no nation is uncivilized. Underscore 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 taking crocodiles as universe, x equals hungry, and y equals amiable, 18. All hungry crocodiles are unamiable. 19 no crocodiles are amiable when hungry. 20 some crocodiles, when not hungry, are amiable, but some are not. 21 no crocodiles are amiable, and some are hungry. 22 all crocodiles, when not hungry, are amiable, and all unamiable crocodiles are hungry. 23 Some hungry crocodiles are amiable, and some that are not hungry are unamiable. CPP 63, 4, 5. Smaller diagram. Symbols to be interpreted. Underscore 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 XYYX underscore 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 1 dash dash 2 dash dash 10 13 dash dash 4 dash dash 000 underscore 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 taking houses as universe, X equals built of brick, and Y equals two-storied, interpret 05 dash dash 6 dash dash 0 dash dash 07 dash dash 8 dash dash 01 CP 65 taking boys as universe, X equals fat, and Y equals active, interpret 1109 dash dash 10 dash dash 101111 dash dash 12 dash dash 001 underscore 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 taking cats as universe, X equals green-eyed, and Y equals good-tempered, interpret 00113 dash dash 14 dash dash 011015 dash dash 16 dash dash 010 CPP 65 6 6 larger diagram. Propositions to be represented. Underscore 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 XYMYX underscore 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 1. No XRM2. Some YRM. 3 all MRX. 4 no MRY. 5 no MRX, all YRM6. Some XRM, no YRM7. All MRX, no MRY8. No XRM, no YRM. CPP 67,8, taking rabbits as universe, M equals greedy, X equals old, and Y equals black. Represent 9. No old rabbits are greedy. 10 Some not greedy rabbits are black. 11 All white rabbits are free from greediness. 12 All greedy rabbits are young. 13 No old rabbits are greedy, all black rabbits are greedy. 14 All rabbits that are not greedy are black. No old rabbits are free from greediness. Underscore 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 taking birds as universe, M equals that sing loud, X equals well fed, and Y equals happy, represent 15. All well fed birds sing loud, no birds that sing loud are unhappy. 16 All birds that do not sing loud are unhappy, no well-fed birds fail to sing loud. Underscore 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 taking persons as universe, M equals in the house, X equals John, and y equals having a toothache, represent 17. John is in the house. Everybody in the house is suffering from toothache. 18. There is no one in the house but John. Nobody, out of the house, has a toothache. Underscore 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 CPP 68 to 70. Taking persons as universe. M equals I, X equals that has taken a walk, Y equals that feels better, represent 19. I have been out for a walk, I feel much better. Underscore 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 choosing your own universe and C, represent 20. I sent him to bring me a kitten, he brought me a kettle by mistake. CPP 70, 1, 7. Both diagrams to be employed. Underscore 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 xxymyyyyxx underscore 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 nb. In each question, a small diagram should be drawn, for x and y only, and marked in accordance with the given large diagram, and then as many propositions as possible, for x and y, should be read off from this small diagram. 000011 2 100 CP 72 0003 4 1000 underscore 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 mark, in a large diagram, the following pairs of propositions from the preceding section, then mark a small diagram in accordance with it, and C5. Number 13. CP 49, 9. Number 17. 6. Number 14. 10. Number 18. 7. Number 15. 11. Number 19. CP 50, 8. Number 16. 12. Number 20. Underscore 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 mark, on a large diagram, the following pairs of propositions, then mark a small diagram, and see. These are, in fact, pairs of premises for syllogisms, and the results, read off from the small diagram, are the conclusions. 13. No exciting books suit feverish patients, unexciting books make one drowsy. 14. Some, who deserve the fair, get their deserts, none but the brave deserve the fair. 15. No children are patient, no impatient person can sit still. CPP 72 to 5, 16. All pigs are fat, no skeletons are fat. 17. No monkeys are soldiers, all monkeys are mischievous. 18. None of my cousins are just, no judges are unjust. 19. Some days are rainy, rainy days are tiresome. 20. All medicine is nasty, senna is a medicine. 21. Some Jews are rich, all Patagonians are Gentiles. 22. All teetotalers like sugar, no nightingale drinks wine. 23. No muffins are wholesome, all buns are unwholesome. 24. No fat creatures run well, some greyhounds run well. 25 All soldiers march, some youths are not soldiers. 26 Sugar is sweet, salt is not sweet. 27 Some eggs are hard-boiled, no eggs are uncrackable. 28 There are no Jews in the house, there are no Gentiles in the garden. CPP 75-82, 29. All battles are noisy, what makes no noise may escape notice. 30 No Jews are mad, all rabbis are Jews. 31 There are no fish that cannot swim, some skates are fish. 32 All passionate people are unreasonable, some orators are passionate. CPP 82-84, Chapter 3. Crooked answers. I answered him, as I thought good, as many as red herrings grow in the wood. Underscore 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 1. Elementary. 1 Whatever can be attributed to, that is said to belong to, a thing, is called an attribute. For example, baked, which can, frequently, be attributed to buns, and beautiful, which can, seldom, be attributed to babies. 2 When they are the names of two things, for example, these pigs are fat animals, or of two attributes, for example, pink is light red. 3 When one is the name of a thing, and the other the name of an attribute, for example, these pigs are pink, since a thing cannot actually be an attribute. 4 That the substantive shall be supposed to be repeated at the end of the sentence, for example, these pigs are pink, pigs. 5 A proposition is a sentence stating that some, or none, or all, of the things belonging to a certain class, called the subject, are also things belonging to a certain other class, called the predicate. For example, some new cakes are not nice, that is, written in full, some new cakes are not nice cakes, where the class new cakes is the subject, and the class not nice cakes is the predicate. 6 A proposition, stating that some of the things belonging to its subject are so and so, is called particular. For example, some new cakes are nice, some new cakes are not nice. A proposition, stating that none of the things belonging to its subject, or that all of them, are so and so, is called universal. For example, no new cakes are nice, all new cakes are not nice. 7 The things in each compartment possess two attributes, whose symbols will be found written on two of the edges of that compartment. 8 One or more. 9 As a name of the class of things to which the whole diagram is assigned. 10 A proposition containing two statements. For example, some new cakes are nice and some are not nice. 11 When the whole class, thus divided, is exhausted among the sets into which it is divided, there being no member of it which does not belong to some one of them. For example, the class new cakes is exhaustively divided into nice and not nice since every new cake must be one or the other. 12 When a man cannot make up his mind which of two parties he will join, he is said to be sitting on the fence not being able to decide on which side he will jump down. 13 Some X are Y and no X are Y. 14. A proposition, whose subject is a single thing, is called individual. For example, I am happy, John is not at home. These are universal propositions, being the same as all the I's that exist are happy, all the Johns that I am now considering are not at home. 15. Propositions beginning with some or all. 16. When they begin with some or no. For example, some ABC are definite may be rearranged as some BFRAD, each being equivalent to some abgdif exist. 17. Some tigers are fierce, no tigers are not fierce. 18. Some hard-boiled eggs are unwholesome, no hard-boiled eggs are wholesome. 19. Some eyes are happy, no eyes are unhappy. 20. Some Johns are not at home, no Johns are at home. 21. The things, in each compartment of the larger diagram, possess 3 attributes, whose symbols will be found written at 3 of the corners of the compartment, except in the case of M, which is not actually inserted in the diagram, but is supposed to stand at each of its 4 outer corners. 22. If the universe of things be divided with regard to 3 different attributes, and if 2 propositions be given, containing 2 different couples of these attributes, and if from these we can prove a third proposition, containing the 2 attributes that have not yet occurred together, the given propositions are called the premises, the third one the conclusion, and the whole set a syllogism. For example, the premises might be no M are X and all M are Y, and it might be possible to prove from them a conclusion containing X and Y 23. If an attribute occurs in both premises, the term containing it is called the middle term. For example, if the premises are some M are X and no M are Y, the class of M things is the middle term. If an attribute occurs in one premise, and it's contradictory in the other, the terms containing them may be called the middle terms. For example, if the premises are no M are X and all M are Y, the 2 classes of M things and M things may be called the middle terms. 24. Because they can be marked with certainty, whereas affirmative propositions, that is, those that begin with some or all, sometimes require us to place a red counter sitting on a fence. 25. Because the only question we are concerned with is whether the conclusion follows logically from the premises, so that, if they were true, it also would be true. 26. By understanding a red counter to mean this compartment can be occupied, and a grey one to mean this compartment cannot be occupied or this compartment must be empty. 27. Fallacious premises and fallacious conclusion. 28. By finding, when we try to transfer marks from the larger diagram to the smaller, that there is no information for any of its 4 compartments. 29. By finding the correct conclusion, and then observing that the conclusion, offered to us, is neither identical with it nor a part of it. 30. When the offered conclusion is part of the correct conclusion. In this case, we may call it a defective conclusion. 2/2 of smaller diagram. Propositions represented. Underscore 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 1. 1 2. 0 1 3. 114 005 16 07 11. It might be thought that the proper diagram would be 11, in order to express some x exist, but this is really contained in some x or y. To put a red counter on the division line would only tell us one of the compartments is occupied, which we know already, in knowing that one is occupied. 8. No x or y, i.e. 0, 9. Some x or y, i.e. 1, 10. All x or y, i.e. 1, 0, 11. Some x or y, i.e. 1, 12. No x or y, i.e. 0, 13. Some x or y, and some are y, i.e. 1, 1, 14. All x or y, i.e. 0, 1, 15. No y or x, i.e. 0, 1, 16. All y are x, i.e. 0, 0, 17. No y exist, i.e. 0, 18. Some y are x, i.e. 1, 15. Some y exist, i.e. 1, 3. Half of smaller diagram. Symbols interpreted. Underscore 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 1. No x or y. 2. No x exist. 3. Some x exist. 4. All x or y. 5. Some x or y, i.e. some good riddles are hard. 6. All x or y, i.e. all good riddles are hard. 7. No x exist, i.e. no riddles are good. 8. No x or y, i.e. no good riddles are hard. 9. Some x or y, i.e. some lobsters are unselfish. 10. No x or y, i.e. no lobsters are selfish. 11. All x or y, i.e. all lobsters are unselfish. 12. Some x or y, and some are y, i.e. some lobsters are selfish, and some are unselfish. 13. All y are x, i.e. all invalids are unhappy. 14. Some y exist, i.e. some people are unhealthy. 15. Some y are x, and some are x, i.e. some invalids are happy, and some are unhappy. 16. No y exist, i.e. nobody is unhealthy. 4. Smaller diagram. Propositions represented. Underscore 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 1 1 dash dash 2 dash dash 0 1 1 3 dash dash 4 dash dash 0 1 5 dash dash 6 dash dash 0 7 dash dash 8 dash dash 1019 dash 110 dash dash 0011011 dash dash 12 dash dash 1113. No x or y, i.e. dash 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 0014. All y are x, i.e. dash 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 115. Some y exist, IE-11016. All y are x, and all x are y IE-017. No x exist. IE-000118. All x are y. IE-019. No x are y IE-20. Some x are y, and some are y. IE-110121. No y exist, and some x exist. IE-0122. All x are y, and all y are x IE-10117. Some x are y, and some x are y. IE-15. Smaller diagram. Symbols interpreted. Underscore 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 1. Some y are not x, or some not x are y2. No not x are not y, or no not y are not x3. No not y are x4. No not x exist. I.e. no things are not x5. No y exist. I.e. no houses are two-storied. 6 some x exist. I.e. some houses are not built of brick. 7 no x are y. Or, no y are x i.e. no houses, built of brick, are other than two-storied. Or, no houses, that are not two-storied, are built of brick. 8 all x are y. I.e. all houses, that are not built of brick, are not two-storied. 9 some x are y, and some are y. I.e. some fat boys are active, and some are not. 10 all y are x. I.e. all lazy boys are thin. 11 all x are y, and all y are x i.e. all fat boys are lazy, and all lazy ones are fat. 12 all y are x, and all x are y i.e. all active boys are fat, and all thin ones are lazy. 13 no x exist, and no y exist. I.e. no cats have green eyes, and none have bad tempers. 14 some x are y, and some x are y. Or some y are x, and some y are x i.e. some green-eyed cats are bad-tempered, and some, that have not green eyes, are good-tempered. Or, some good-tempered cats have not green eyes, and some bad-tempered ones have green eyes. 15 some x are y, and no x are y. Or, some y are x, and no y are x. I.e. some green-eyed cats are good-tempered, and none, that are not green-eyed, are bad-tempered. Or, some good-tempered cats have green eyes, and none, that are bad-tempered, have not green eyes. 16 all x are y, and all x are y. Or, all y are x, and all y are x i.e. all green-eyed cats are bad-tempered and all, that have not green eyes, are good-tempered. Or, all good-tempered ones have eyes that are not green, and all bad-tempered ones have green eyes. 6 larger diagram. Propositions represented. underscore 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 dash 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 001 dash 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 2 1 dash 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 0 dash 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 003 dash 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 4 dash 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 00 dash 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 00015 dash 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 6 dash 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 10 dash 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 00 dash 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 007 dash 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 8 dash 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 0100 dash 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 0 dash dash 009 no XRMIE dash 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 0 dash 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 10 some MRYIE 1 dash 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 011 all YRM IE dash 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 10 dash 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 0012 all MRX IE dash 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 1 dash dash 0 dash dash 0013 no XRM IE dash 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 all YRM 1 dash dash 000 dash dash 14 all MRY IE dash 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 no XRM dash dash 1000 dash dash 1015 all XRM IE dash 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 no MRY 0 dash dash 00 dash dash 16 all MRY IE dash 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 no XRM dash dash 0100 dash dash 1017 all XRM IE dash 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 all MRY 0 dash dash see remarks on number 7 P60.0 dash dash 18 no XRM IE dash 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 no MRY 00 dash dash 0 dash dash 1019 all MRX IE dash 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 all MRY 00 dash dash 20 we had better take persons as universe. We may choose myself as middle term, in which case the premises will take the form I am a person who sent him to bring a kitten, I am a person to whom he brought a kettle by mistake. Or we may choose he as middle term, in which case the premises will take the form he is a person whom I sent to bring me a kitten, he is a person who brought me a kettle by mistake. The latter form seems best, as the interest of the anecdote clearly depends on his stupidity, not on what happened to me. Let us then make M equals he, X equals persons whom I sent, and C, and Y equals persons who brought, and C. Hence, all MRX, all MRY, and the required diagram is dash dash 10 dash 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 00 dash dash 7. Both diagrams employed 01 dash 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 IE all YRX 112 dash 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 IE some XRY or some YRX3 dash 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 IE some YRX or some XRY14 dash 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 IE no XRY or no YRX 005 dash 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 IE all YRX, i.e. all black rabbits one are young. 6. I.e. some YRX, i.e. some black one rabbits are young. 107. I.e. all X are Y, i.e. all well-fed birds are happy, i.e. some X are Y, i.e. some birds. 8. That are not well-fed, are unhappy, 1 or some unhappy birds are not well-fed. 109. I.e. all X are Y, i.e. John has got a toothache. 10. I.e. no X are Y, i.e. no one, but John, 0 has got a toothache. 111. I.e. some X are Y, i.e. someone, who has taken a walk, feels better. 1 i.e. some X are Y, i.e. someone. 12. Whom I sent to bring me a kitten, brought me a kettle by mistake. 0-0013. 1-0-0 Let books be universe. M equals exciting, X equals that suit feverish patients, Y equals that make one drowsy. No MRX, and therefore no YRX. All M are Y, i.e. no books suit feverish patients, except such as make one drowsy. 1014. 01 Let persons be universe. M equals that deserve the fair, X equals that get their deserts, Y equals brave. Some M are X, and therefore some Y are X. No Y are M, i.e. some brave persons get their deserts. 0-0015. 0-0 Let persons be universe. M equals patient, X equals children, Y equals that can sit still. No X are M, and therefore no X are Y. No M are Y, i.e. no children can sit still. 00-0116. 001 Let things be universe. M equals fat, X equals pigs, Y equals skeletons. All X are M, and therefore all X are Y. No Y are M, i.e. all pigs are not skeletons. 0017. 10 Let creatures be universe. M equals monkeys, X equals soldiers, Y equals mischievous. No M are X, and therefore some Y are X. All M are Y, i.e. some mischievous creatures are not soldiers. 0-0018. 0-0 Let persons be universe. M equals just, X equals my cousins, Y equals judges. No X are M, and therefore no X are Y. No Y are M, i.e. none of my cousins are judges. 1019. 1 Let periods be universe. M equals days, X equals rainy, Y equals tiresome. Some M are X, and therefore some X are Y. All X M are Y, i.e. some rainy periods are tiresome. NB. These are not legitimate premises, since the conclusion is really part of the second premise, so that the first premise is superfluous. This may be shown, in letters, thus all XMRY contains some XMRY, which contains some XRY. Or, in words, all rainy days are tiresome contains some rainy days are tiresome, which contains some rainy periods are tiresome. Moreover, the first premise, besides being superfluous, is actually contained in the second, since it is equivalent to some rainy days exist, which, as we know, is implied in the proposition all rainy days are tiresome. Altogether, a most unsatisfactory pair of premises. 0-120 -001-00 Let things be universe. M equals medicine, X equals nasty, Y equals senna. All M are X, and therefore all Y are X. All Y are M, i.e. senna is nasty. See remarks on number 7, p. 60.-0121. 1-01-. Let persons be universe. M equals Jews, X equals rich, Y equals Patagonians. Some M are X, and therefore some X are Y. All Y are M, i.e. some rich persons are not Patagonians. 0-22 -00-00 Let creatures be universe. M equals teetotalers, X equals that like sugar, Y equals nightingales. All M are X, and therefore no Y are X. No Y are M, i.e. no nightingales dislike sugar. 0023 1-0-. Let food be universe. M equals wholesome, X equals muffins, Y equals buns. No X are M, all Y are M. There is no information for the smaller diagram, so no conclusion can be drawn. 0024 1-1 Let creatures be universe. M equals that run well, X equals fat, Y equals greyhounds. No X are M, and therefore some Y are X. Some Y are M, i.e. some greyhounds are not fat. 25 1-00 Let persons be universe. M equals soldiers, X equals that march, Y equals youths. All M are X, some Y are M. There is no information for the smaller diagram, so no conclusion can be drawn. 00-0126 -001-11 Let food be universe. M equals sweet, X equals sugar, Y equals salt. All X are M, and therefore all X are Y. All Y are M. All Y are X. I.e. sugar is not salt. Salt is not sugar. 1027 01 let things be universe. M equals eggs, X equals hard-boiled, Y equals crackable. Some M are X, and therefore some X are Y. No M are Y. I.e., some hard-boiled things can be cracked. 0-0028 0 let persons be universe. M equals Jews, X equals that are in the house, Y equals that are in the garden. No M are X, and therefore no X are Y. No M are Y, i.e., no persons that are in the house are also in the garden. 00-29 101 let things be universe. M equals noisy, X equals battles, Y equals that may escape notice. All X are M, and therefore some X are Y. All M are Y, i.e., some things that are not battles may escape notice. 0-0030 10 let persons be universe. M equals Jews, X equals mad, Y equals rabbis. No M are X, and therefore all Y are X. All Y are M, i.e., all rabbis are sane. 131 001 let things be universe. M equals fish, X equals that can swim, Y equals skates. No M are X, and therefore some Y are X. Some Y are M, i.e., some skates can swim. 0032 1 let people be universe. M equals passionate, X equals reasonable, Y equals orators. All M are X, and therefore some Y are X. Some Y are M, i.e., some orators are unreasonable. See remarks on number 7, p. 60. Chapter 4. Hit or miss. Thou canst not hit it, hit it, hit it, thou canst not hit it, my good man. Underscore 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 1. Pain is wearisome, no pain is eagerly wished for. 2. No bald person needs a hairbrush, no lizards have hair. 3. All thoughtless people do mischief, no thoughtful person forgets a promise. 4. I do not like John, some of my friends like John. 5. No potatoes are pineapples, all pineapples are nice. 6. No pins are ambitious, no needles are pins. 7. All my friends have colds, no one can sing who has a cold. 8. All these dishes are well cooked, some dishes are unwholesome if not well cooked. 9. No medicine is nice, senna is a medicine. 10. Some oysters are silent, no silent creatures are amusing. 11. All wise men walk on their feet, all unwise men walk on their hands. 12. Mind your own business, this quarrel is no business of yours. 13. No bridges are made of sugar, some bridges are picturesque. 14. No riddles interest me that can be solved, all these riddles are insoluble. 15 John is industrious, all industrious people are happy. 16 No frogs write books, some people use ink in writing books. 17 No pokers are soft, all pillows are soft. 18 No antelope is ungraceful, graceful animals delight the eye. 19 Some uncles are ungenerous, all merchants are generous. 20 No unhappy people chuckle, no happy people groan. 21 Audible music causes vibration in the air, inaudible music is not worth paying for. 22 He gave me £5, I was delighted. 23 No old Jews are fat millers, all my friends are old millers. 24 Flour is good for food, oatmeal is a kind of flour. 25 Some dreams are terrible, no lambs are terrible. 26 No rich man begs in the street, all who are not rich should keep accounts. 27 No thieves are honest, some dishonest people are found out. 28 All wasps are unfriendly, all puppies are friendly. 29 All improbable stories are doubted, none of these stories are probable. 30 He told me you had gone away. He never says one word of truth. 31 His songs never last an hour, a song that lasts an hour is tedious. 32 No bride cakes are wholesome, unwholesome food should be avoided. 33 No old misers are cheerful, some old misers are thin. 34 All ducks waddle, nothing that waddles is graceful. 35 No professors are ignorant, some ignorant people are conceited. 36 Toothache is never pleasant, warmth is never unpleasant. 37 Bores are terrible, you are a bore. 38 Some mountains are insurmountable, all styles can be surmounted. 39 No Frenchmen like plum pudding, all Englishmen like plum pudding. 40 No idlers win fame, some painters are not idle. 41 No lobsters are unreasonable, no reasonable creatures expect impossibilities. 42 No kind deed is unlawful, what is lawful may be done without fear. 43 No fossils can be crossed in love, any oyster may be crossed in love. 44 This is beyond endurance. Well, nothing beyond endurance has ever happened to me. 45 All uneducated men are shallow, all these students are educated. 46 All my cousins are unjust, no judges are unjust. 47 No country that has been explored is infested by dragons, unexplored countries are fascinating. 48 No misers are generous, some old men are not generous. 49 A prudent man shuns high-owness, no banker is imprudent. 50 Some poetry is original, no original work is producible at will. 51 No misers are unselfish, none but misers save eggshells. 52 All pale people are phlegmatic, no one, who is not pale, looks poetical. 53 All spiders spin webs, some creatures that do not spin webs are savage. 54 None of my cousins are just, all judges are just. 55 John is industrious, no industrious people are unhappy. 56 Umbrellas are useful on a journey, what is useless on a journey should be left behind. 57 Some pillows are soft, no pokers are soft. 58 I am old and lame, no old merchant is a lame gambler. 59 No eventful journey is ever forgotten, uneventful journeys are not worth writing a book about. 60 Sugar is sweet, some sweet things are liked by children. 61 Richard is out of temper, no one but Richard can ride that horse. 62 All jokes are meant to amuse, no Act of Parliament is a joke. 63 I saw it in a newspaper. All newspapers tell lies. 64 No nightmare is pleasant, unpleasant experiences are not anxiously desired. 65 Prudent travelers carry plenty of small change, imprudent travelers lose their luggage. 66 All wasps are unfriendly, no puppies are unfriendly. 67 He called here yesterday, he is no friend of mine. 68 No quadrupeds can whistle, some cats are quadrupeds. 69 No cooked meat is sold by butchers, no uncooked meat is served at dinner. 70 Gold is heavy, nothing but gold will silence him. 71 Some pigs are wild, there are no pigs that are not fat. 72 No emperors are dentists, all dentists are dreaded by children. 73 All, who are not old, like walking, neither you nor I are old. 74 All blades are sharp, some grasses are blades. 75 No dictatorial person is popular, she is dictatorial. 76 Some sweet things are unwholesome, no muffins are sweet. 77 No military men write poetry, no generals are civilians. 78 Bores are dreaded, a bore is never begged to prolong his visit. 79 All owls are satisfactory, some excuses are unsatisfactory. 80 All my cousins are unjust, all judges are just. 81 Some buns are rich, all buns are nice. 82 No medicine is nice, no pills are unmedicinal. 83 Some lessons are difficult, what is difficult needs attention. 84 No unexpected pleasure annoys me, your visit is an unexpected pleasure. 85 Caterpillars are not eloquent, Jones is eloquent. 86 Some bald people wear wigs, all your children have hair. 87 All wasps are unfriendly, unfriendly creatures are always unwelcome. 88 No bankrupts are rich, some merchants are not bankrupts. 89 Weasels sometimes sleep, all animals sometimes sleep. 90 Ill-managed concerns are unprofitable, railways are never ill-managed. 91 Everybody has seen a pig, nobody admires a pig. Underscore 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 extract a pair of premises out of each of the following, and deduce the conclusion, if there is 1-92. The lion, as anyone can tell you who has been chased by them as often as I have, is a very savage animal, and there are certain individuals among them, though I will not guarantee it as a general law, who do not drink coffee. 93. It was most absurd of you to offer it. You might have known, if you had had any sense, that no old sailors ever like gruel. But I thought, as he was an uncle of yours, an uncle of mine, indeed. Stuff. You may call it stuff, if you like. All I know is, my uncles are all old men, and they like gruel like anything. Well, then your uncles are 94. Do come away. I can't stand this squeezing any more. No crowded shops are comfortable, you know very well. Well, who expects to be comfortable, out shopping? Why, I do, of course. And I'm sure there are some shops, further down the street, that are not crowded. So 95. They say no doctors are metaphysical organists, and that lets me into a little fact about you, you know. Why, how do you make that out? You never heard me play the organ. No, doctor, but I've heard you talk about Browning's poetry, and that showed me that you're metaphysical, at any rate. So underscore 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 extract a syllogism out of each of the following, and test its correctness. 96. Don't talk to me. I've known more rich merchants than you have, and I can tell you not one of them was ever an old miser since the world began. And what has that got to do with old Mr. Brown? Why, isn't he very rich? Yes, of course he is. And what then? Why, don't you see that it's absurd to call him a miserly merchant? Either he's not a merchant, or he's not a miser. 97. It is so kind of you to enquire. I'm really feeling a great deal better today. And is it nature, or art, that is to have the credit of this happy change? Art, I think. The doctor has given me some of that patent medicine of his. Well, I'll never call him a humbug again. There's somebody, at any rate, that feels better after taking his medicine. 98. No, I don't like you one bit. And I'll go and play with my doll. Dolls are never unkind. So you like a doll better than a cousin? Oh, you little silly. Of course I do. Cousins are never kind, at least no cousins I've ever seen. Well, and what does that prove, I'd like to know? If you mean that cousins aren't dolls, whoever said they were? 99. What are you talking about geraniums for? You can't tell one flower from another, at this distance. I grant you they're all red flowers, it doesn't need a telescope to know that. Well, some geraniums are red, aren't they? I don't deny it. And what then? I suppose you'll be telling me some of those flowers are geraniums. Of course that's what I should tell you, if you'd the sense to follow an argument. But what's the good of proving anything to you, I should like to know? 100. Boys, you've passed a fairly good examination, all things considered. Now let me give you a word of advice before I go. Remember that all, who are really anxious to learn, work hard. I thank you, sir, in the name of my scholars. And proud am I to think there are some of them, at least, that are really anxious to learn. Very glad to hear it. And how do you make it out to be so? Why, sir, I know how hard they work, some of them, that is. Who should know better? Underscore 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 extract from the following speech a series of syllogisms, or arguments having the form of syllogisms, and test their correctness. It is supposed to be spoken by a fond mother, in answer to a friend's cautious suggestion that she is perhaps a little overdoing it, in the way of lessons, with her children. 101 Well, they've got their own way to make in the world. We can't leave them a fortune apiece. And money's not to be had, as you know, without money's worth. They must work if they want to live. And how are they to work, if they don't know anything? Take my word for it, there's no place for ignorance in these times. And all authorities agree that the time to learn is when you're young. One's got no memory afterwards, worth speaking of. A child will learn more in an hour than a grown man in 5. So those that have to learn, must learn when they're young, if ever they're to learn at all. Of course that doesn't do unless children are healthy, I quite allow that. Well, the doctor tells me no children are healthy unless they've got a good color in their cheeks. And only just look at my darlings. Why, their cheeks bloom like ponies. Well, now, they tell me that, to keep children in health, you should never give them more than 6 hours altogether at lessons in the day, and at least 2 half holidays in the week. And that's exactly our plan, I can assure you. We never go beyond 6 hours, and every Wednesday and Saturday, as ever is, not one syllable of lessons do they do after their 1 o'clock dinner. So how you can imagine I'm running any risk in the education of my precious pets is more than I can understand, I promise you. The end. Asterisk 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 end of the Project Gutenberg ebook The Game of Logic asterisk 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 updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works. So the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away, You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the Foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116, 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.